Well, speaking of New York, before we get to, like you said, your current morning show, Carolina with Greg T on KTU and iHeart, before we get to all of that, speaking of New York, you recently made major headlines all over the media about, the fact that apparently the producers of Real Housewives of New York have contacted you to possibly be part of the cast for next season. So what, Carolina, can you tell us about that?
I can't comment on that, but I will say I am a huge, huge fan of the franchise. I mean, I think everybody knows what it's all about. And I think that the women that are on the current cast are incredible. I mean, Ebony was such a great addition. Ebony is actually very good friends with one of my really good friends, Charlemagne, who works in radio. So there's all of these like connections there that, and I don't know Ebony, but I've heard so many amazing things about her. But I really honestly I can't comment on that. But all I can say is that I think they're doing a great job, and I think all the ladies are really lovely, like Luann and her cabaret. And I mean, just being from New York, I've been exposed to a lot of them throughout my career. So yes, yeah, that's
Okay, so you don't need to comment on whether you've been contacted, but you actually watch the show? Like, do you watch the show? Are you a fan of like the Bravo shows?
Absolutely. I mean, I would be lying to you if I told you like, oh, I don't watch. I mean, like I said, I've throughout my career interviewed all of the housewives have had their ventures, So when I was on a television morning show, they would come through like Heather Thompson came through with Yummy Tummy, and Teresa when she wrote a book. Like so, and it's not just the New York Housewives; it's the New Jersey Housewives and other franchises. So, like Brandy, when she wrote her book, came through on a show that I was working on. So, there's really been a lot of exposure there, and I follow it absolutely. Like Beverly Hills right now, I'm sorry, Kathy Hilton is everything. They slept on her for too long. They needed to bring her out like 5 seasons ago. I absolutely love her. So yeah, I definitely watch.
Kathy is killing it. She is just literally, because I said right when she was cast, I'm like, she doesn't need the fame and she doesn't need the money. And once you don't need either, like you're there and you're just yourself, like you don't care.
Totally. And I love that she's bringing like her realness, like the Red Bull in the middle of the night is something I would potentially do. You know what I mean? So I just love how real and genuine she is.
Do you know any of the women like outside of like having interviewed them, like Luann, Ramona?
I don't. I've only in professional settings have met them. Like, for example, when Bethany was on the show, she came through another morning show that I was working on. So, and that's what I'm saying. It's like New York, it's such a big town, but it's such a small town. Like I was at a lunch with Carol Radziwill. I mean, you know what I mean? So it's like, there's a lot of different places where I've had the exposure or the connection with them, but I can't say that I like have any of them in my phone or, that I'm texting with anybody. No, I don't have that kind of a connection.
How do you think, because I sat down and interviewed Ebony like this, and I was forget about what you see on TV. I was completely blown away. And I don't say that about everyone I sit with.
Right.
How do you think she's doing this season?
I just think she is doing such an incredible job of giving us herself, truly. I really think that's who she is, but also she's really educating the women a whole lot. And I think that that's like an added job that she maybe knew that she was going to have, but I don't think that she knew the extent of it. And I think that we've seen that throughout the season, this past season. And I just think she's a remarkable woman. Like, I mean, she really is goals. You look at her and she's got all of these like accolades, and she's just a wonderful person. And she's got these wonderful connections with people. I mean, she's got her podcast, she's a lawyer, but she's also, it seems like a really good friend, which I love.